Hi guys, how's everyone doing? Happy Monday on this cold and chilly night. Celia coming here live from Baltimore, Maryland. And as you're joining me, please let me know who you are, where you're coming in from, what your name is. Hi, Kim. Yay, you're here live and in person. I'm so excited. I'm going to give you a shout out as more people come on. I missed you live. I have to replay your challenge. So everyone else, as you're coming in, let me know who you are, and share this out if you would with your followers. I'd greatly appreciate it. Hi, Douglas, and love the heart. Tap that old screen. Give me some love. I love it, love it, love it. And replay viewers, thanks so much for checking it out. Yes, I know, Kim. I'm so happy, so happy. And I got to catch up with you. Good evening, Douglas. How are you today? We're talking sports. Sports. I've been inspired this evening to talk about sports. Thanks for the hearts. So give us a share and let some other people come in and let's get this conversation really going. It's bound to be a good one. A little bit about me before we get started. My name is Celia, as I said before, and I am your parenting coach, your family empowerment coach, as it says right below here. And hey, VC Victor, how are you? Welcome, welcome. I'm doing great, Douglas. Thanks so much for asking. And I'm here to help you through the ups and downs that parenting is, and give you the skills that you need to really make all of your kids amazing kids that grow up. Hello, 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 Victor. So good to see you. And guys, I encourage you, if you're Hi Panda Bear, if you're on Facebook, to please join my Landmark Parenting group on Facebook. That's it. Landmark Parenting. We're going to have some parent challenges coming up. I'm going to be announcing my online course very soon. So please give us a join and sign on to Landmark Parenting. I appreciate it so much. Thanks for the hearts, guys. I way appreciate that. So this is what I want to talk about. I was watching Brian Gumbel's show, Real Sports. Is that what it's called? I love that show. It's awesome, awesome, awesome. So I was watching that show and they were talking about sports and kids. And, an article came out about, hi, Douglas. Oh, you're a dear friend of Victor's. You're a dear friend of mine. Thank you for coming on. And I hope you guys join in this whole sports conversation. And guys, if you have kids, let me know how old they are and if they are participating in team sports. Because, an article came out. Yes, I'm the one that likes conjugation. Yes, Douglas, that's me. I love it. Love conjugation. Kim, conjugations are cheese balls. We have to get some one day. He wants to live in Florida. I want to live in Florida right now too. Honest to God, I do. So on to sports. So, there's an article came out, I think in the Washington Post, don't hold me to that said a lot of kids are quitting sports by the time, team sports, by the time they hit 13. So let's talk about it. And the reason I think this is because sports are not fun anymore. Here is an activity that kids can release, that kids can get their energy out, that kids can participate. All these pros of being involved. I love kids are involved in sports, exercise. You're in band and football, teamwork, problem solving, leadership. All these things are benefits of being on a team. However, the ultimate benefit for most kids is the element of fun. And with all this extreme competition, it's not fun anymore. If you guys think team sports are still fun for kids, put a 1 in the comments. If you think they're not fun for kids anymore, put a 2, okay? Because I don't think they're fun anymore. I think competition and the energy parents put into it, and the stress that they put on kids to being the best athlete they can possibly be is way too much for children. And do you know that only 1% of kids that play sports will make it to be a professional sports player, will make it to a professional team? Only 1%. So all these parents are like stressing their kids out, putting them on specialty teams, traveling all over Kingdom Come. And I don't think kids are having much fun at it anymore. I'll tell you a story. When my son was in elementary school, my son is very tall. He's 6'4" now. I was working academy, but now you don't practice anything. What's my favorite sport? You know what, Vic? My favorite sport, I was never picked for sports teams. I was always the last one picked. I mean, they were like picking teams, and I was like, oh, are you kidding me? I have to have Celia on my team? Wasn't a great sports person. Plus, in high school, I have scoliosis. I wore like a full body brace. Total geek. Nobody wanted me on their teams. But I think my favorite sport to watch is basketball, even though I don't watch it much. I do like football to a point because I like the Redskins, but I like horses. I love watching the horse races and the equestrian matches, stuff like that. I love the Olympics because of the variety. You get skiing, you get ice skating, all that. I can't say as I'm like sold on just one sport. Do I know No, I don't know. What is that, Douglas? Capera? Oh, it's soccer. It's soccer. Yeah, Brazil is huge in soccer. Actually, one of my girlfriends that's from Portugal, she's actually from Portugal. Her son is in Spain at a university that specializes in soccer. Yeah, soccer. So what you said, Douglas, sorry, I have an itch. So what you said, is that soccer? Is that a Brazilian for soccer? I'm not sure. I have to see what it is again. But I know, what's it? It's football over across the pond. Soccer's fun to watch. I mean, it is really fun to watch. Lacrosse is fun too. There's a lot of sports that I like. My worry is that parents are so stressing out their kids and getting them on these specialty teams that kids are just stressed out. They don't want to do it anymore because they're not having fun. Brazilians do love soccer. It is their sport. What is it? What is capera? Is that soccer or is that something totally different? I know I'm probably killing the word, and I apologize. I'm probably smashing the word. But guys, share this out. Let's get more people on, if you would. Share it with your followers. Also, so I was telling you about my son Kyle. So my son Kyle is very tall. He's 6'4", and he was very tall all through school. Oh, it's different. So what kind of sport is it? Some parents care too much about winning. Absolutely, Kim. A lot of parents care too much about winning. Oh, it's fighting? Is it like boxing or wrestling or like that? What is that fight? Mixed martial arts? Thank you for inviting people, Victor. Mixed martial arts, where they just beat each other up. That? Which I don't know. I don't like watching that. I don't like watching people get beat up. But so Kyle was on teams when he was little, and he was always a head taller than anyone else on the basketball team. And the coaches wanted him to land all the baskets, except that Kyle really didn't have a competitive bone in his body. And he hated the pressure of having to shoot these baskets. In fact, he hated it so much when he got a basketball, all he wanted to do was get away from it and get it to like somebody else. One coach decided he was tall, he didn't like to shoot baskets, and put him under the basket as a rebounder, and he'd catch the balls and throw it out, and he was so happy. Oh, really? Kind of like wrestling. That's fascinating. I have to look it up, Douglas. I bet it's really interesting to watch. Is it more like wrestling? So wrestling's great to watch. I don't mind watching wrestling. I don't like that mixed martial arts where they just beat each other up. I like karate. Yeah, martial arts are great. Very, I have to look that up, Douglas. I'm fascinated to see what that is. Guys, as you're coming on, let me know who you are. We're talking about sports and kids, whether we think it's fun anymore. If you think sports and kids are fun, put a 1 in the comments. If you think it's not fun anymore, put a 2. Hi, WePCAO2. How are ya? So Kyle, the next time he had this coach who was like all about him making baskets, he quit. My niece, who was a superstar at soccer, wanted to be a goalie. She was on a specialty team for years. She always scored points, and her coach would not let her be a goalie because he wanted to win the game. She quit. So my point is, there are these high pressure coaches and high pressure parents. Hey, Jessica, high pressure parents that all they want is win, win, win. And like, don't bother to be on the team if you're not going to make winning and really extreme work. Thank you. I did it very fast. Thank you. And if you're not going to be on the team, they don't want you on the team if you're just like mediocre Mo, like me. They don't want you on the team. They want people who are extreme athletes. Don't stop. Okay, don't stop what? I missed something, Douglas. What am I not stopping? So I think what happens is kids get discouraged, and band wasn't right. Kids get discouraged, and if they're no more or less, if they're just like not the top person on the team, they're not played, they sit on the bench, they're not given a chance to improve. And who wants to do that? Nobody wants to do that. They're on a team to play, and the coaches won't let them play. The kids go into it knowing you compete. Yes, they do. They go into knowing you compete, but I think it leaves out a lot of kids, but you compete as a whole group, right? You should compete as a team, and a lot of them don't. A lot of them, I was watching a film. Oh, okay. You're leaving, Douglas. Good night, good night, good night. Thank you for coming on. Please join me again. I'm here Monday through Friday at 9 o'clock. Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock. Thank you for joining me. And now you have to be a single sports superstar athlete at 5. Right. Right. They just expect you to be this like amazing human. And it's, he speaks very well, Victor. He does speak very well. Absolutely. Bye, Douglas. Thank you, hon. So, they just expect you to be this superstar. And the thing it does is, number one, it adds so much stress to these kids. Like, they don't have enough stress in their lives with school and everything. They have all this added stress playing on a team, which should be helping them alleviate stress. And then there's this whole thing. What do you guys think about sports versus education? What about when there are specialty teams and there are games that have to be played far from home and people have to pull their kids out of school to drive to a game? Right. Bye, Victor. Thanks for joining me. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. I love that I got to play at least 4 steps on teams growing up. I hope I hope so too. Bye-bye. Thanks for coming on, Victor. I hope so too, because it's good for them to be on team sports, but it's not good for them if it's going to add added anxiety to their life. Then it's not good for them. And really, the whole thing really kind of irritates me that they are able to take these kids out of school where they should be in school learning And parents think it's okay to pull them out to leave early for some game. That's horrible. And games should not interfere with school. I don't know if you guys agree with that. Put a 1 if you agree that school should take the priority. I mean, after all, back to the 1% of kids participating in sports are going to be professional athletes. 1%. That's like near nothing. That's like your chance is slim and none. So you're going to miss school and not be pulled out when maybe they could set the game an hour later so you don't have to be pulled out of school. And then do they have time for homework? Like there's so much, and not to mention the kids are stressed. The parents are stressed because they have to miss work or they have to be constantly on the road. They have to be driving. And let's talk about, we have Kim on here, Miss Genius of Debt and Budgeting, the cost of having your kid on sports teams. The cost is incredible. They say that it costs upward to be on a specialty team like $100,000. Do you think it's okay to have a rule that kids must do one extracurricular? I actually think it is, because maybe 2, because kids are so overscheduled, and I think a lot of it is because parents don't know what to do with their children. I think that's a big problem. And then if they're on a sports team, hi Zayman, if they're on a sports team, that takes up all your time. So honestly, how can you do anything extra if you're on a sports team? Yeah, Kim, it is crazy expensive, the cost of these teams. I have friends that do specialty teams and they spend a fortune being on these teams. And it's, so basically what you're doing, what you're adding to your kid's life, unless they are a premier athlete, is overscheduling, pressure, stress, overexpense for you so that you're maybe outdoing your budget by a long haul, stress for the kids, stress for the parents. It takes a huge commitment. Absolutely, Kim. And are they still having fun? Now, granted, not everything in life has to be fun, but sports and extracurricular activities as children are growing up should be fun. They should be having a good time. They shouldn't be listening to parents yelling, "Oh, you're lousy, you're a loser, you're blah, 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 blah." And I just have to think of something because I'm ADD. What about, and this relates to my Facebook broadcast today of when you're praise, too much praise for kids. What about these teams where everybody gets a trophy? What is that about? Why does everybody get a trophy? If you win, you get a trophy. If you're in 8th place, you don't get a trophy. That's life. That's like, go have a pizza party. That's life. And you have to not know, no matter what happens, you're always going to be considered on top of it and giving your child a trophy. It is ridiculous. And hydrate your children while they're playing sports. That's my message. Water. When they're playing sports, hydrate your kids. But yes, you got to learn to lose. As I say a lot, exercise the disappointment muscle. One of the most important muscles to exercise in your kids is their disappointment muscle. And sometimes you win and sometimes you lose, and such is life. And it's not necessarily not fair. It's just how life goes. And if you can teach your kid to grow from a loss, grow and learn from what they just did, then you are giving them the gift of problem solving, of sticking to a task, of work ethic, of trying to figure out a new plan if another plan doesn't work. These are all things you're teaching kids about not always being on the winning edge. It is life. It is life to sometimes win and sometimes lose. And that's one of the great things of being on a sport is that you learn that. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Sometimes you work really hard and it doesn't work out anyway. And you need to practice and practice and practice more. There's so many great lessons learned in team sports, but if they are constantly under stress to win by these coaches and these parents, the fun comes completely out of it and then they will drop out. So sad. My kids have had several classmates. See, it's so hard because they don't know. That is just horrible, Kim. It's horrible because kids now, they're rewarded for everything. It doesn't matter what they do, they get a reward. It doesn't matter what effort they make, they're praised for it. And that was my Facebook live today at 2:00 was all about praising kids for doing nothing. You need to praise kids for the hard work they put into something, not whether they got an A or they got a B or they did this and it was just so easy for them, they did it anyway. You need to praise the effort, praise the hard work, praise what they're doing to achieve what they're trying to achieve. Hi, Rob Bacon. And when you praise the effort, you teach them that the hard work is important, not the end result. If you work hard, okay, 1 or 2 times, is it better to praise a child for getting an A without doing anything, or to praise a child for getting a C and putting in lots of hard work? 1 for the A, 2 for the C. But when they lose, teach them how to, yes, teach them to deal with it because it's not the end of the world. The sun will come up the next day. They will open their eyes the next day. It will all come to be too, right? Absolutely, Kim. You praise the effort regardless of the outcome. If you just praise the outcome, say your kid is really good at math and he takes a test and he gets an A and he doesn't even study, doesn't put any effort into it at all. That A is automatic. He's just good at that. But say he studies for a history exam and he works his butt off studying and he gets a C, praise that hard work. It may not work out the way they want. Like losing a game, it may not work out the way they want. But it doesn't mean it's over. It doesn't mean they can't work harder to try to figure out a better way to achieve a higher grade or a better way to win the next game. The idea is to teach them, to get them to understand that hard work matters. Hard work pays off. If you want something bad enough, work hard for it and you'll get it. And guys, with sports and kids, try to be an influential parent that really monitors the way coaches talk to your kids. Allow them to have water breaks. Please make sure your coaches are hydrating your children as they play, whether they're inside or outside. And really watch what's going on and don't put endless pressure on your child to perform better than maybe he's able to perform. Let him enjoy what he's doing. You know, as an adult, when you enjoy what you're doing, you get better and better and better at it. So if a child enjoys the game they're playing, be it soccer, basketball, baseball, football, whatever they're playing, if they're having a great time, they will want to get better at it. They will want to perfect their skills. They will want to because they're enjoying the playing of the game. So that's what I wanted to come on and tell you guys. Really something to think about. Let me know what you think more. Send me some messages. Also, connect with me on my website, my email, and please join on my Facebook group, Landmark Parenting. Really, I'd love for you to sign on. Give me some feedback there. If there's something special you want me to go live on Landmark Parenting, write me a note on that Facebook group and let me know. I'll be coming out with a challenge for you guys soon. My new ebook is coming around the corner, and my first course, online course on communication with your kids, will be showing up any day now as well. Gotta finish with the graphic artist so it looks nice for you guys. I want it to look nice. But anyway, I thank you all for being on with me. Replay viewers, I also thank you. Thanks for all the hearts, all the conversation. I love hearing your input. I'm here Monday through Friday at 9 o'clock. Hope you catch me live again. You guys make it a great night. I wish you all peace, love, tons of laughter, and I'll see you here tomorrow night, 9 o'clock on Periscope. Bye-bye, everybody.